Well, hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Wayfarer blog. This is a follow-up to our talk that we did Monday night at Engage, on the verge of maturity. Thank you guys who were there. For those of you who weren't, quick catch-up. We talked about the parable of the unjust, unrighteous steward, nicknamed the taming of the shrewd. And one of the great stories that we talked about that night that came out of the main point of just learning how to own it, how to step up, own up, get up, and take ownership of the decisions and the things that we're on the verge of greatness in our own lives. So there's one more story I want to tell you. We talked about the beginnings of 3M Company on Monday night, where there used to be a sandpaper company, how the invention of Scotch tape was just really, really cool. If you didn't hear that, get on iTunes and subscribe to the Engage podcast. It's good. It's really good. Okay? Get up to date on the whole series on the verge. I got one more story from 3M, which I think I should go, if I had any money, I'd buy stock in the company because they seem to be like a cool company. The policy that was created because of Dick Drew, the guy we talked about that invented Scotch tape last night, the bootleg policy, where you could take ownership over personal projects that you believe in with a percentage of your time from the work week. Here's another great story that comes out of that one. In 1968, a research scientist named Dr. Silver is working on a project where he's trying to come up with a really, really strong adhesive. Now, some people say that he's trying to defeat super glue or whatever, but I can't substantiate that in my research, and I don't know when super glue came out, and I don't know when the guy on the construction site started taking his hard hat and gluing it to a steel beam above there and dangling and just going, whoa, super glue. But that's besides the point. He's looking for a strong adhesive. Guess what he finds? A weak one. Surprise. So he finds this weak adhesive, and he's like, dude, there's this product's incredible. Like, there's nothing out there like this, and you know, this might even be better than Scotch tape. So we need to find a practical application for it. So he gets one of his buddies and who believes in the product too, and they tag team 3M with seminars as much as they can. For like 5 years, these guys are going after it, trying to tell them that this is a great product and there's a great application for it. Well, the best they could come up with is they thought, hey, let's put it in a spray can and take your old bulletin board and throw away your thumbnails, your push pins. You don't need them anymore because you got super goopy spray, right? And they spray the bulletin board with it, and then anything you want to stick up, you can stick up and then pull it down, and you've got no little pinholes or anything like that. So they're like, this is awesome, and everyone else is looking at them like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. All right, a bulletin board with no pins. So they own it though. They follow through. They still believe it's there. A couple years down the road, they find this dude named Art Fry, who is this guy who's really got a knack for practical applications, an innovator, a guy who loves to own things, get obsessed with trying to figure things out. And so he joins the team, and they spend years trying to come up with something. And then finally one day, Art's in church, which is why we go to church, boys and girls. And he notices his choir director thumbing through his hymn book, and all these scrap pieces of paper are falling out. And he's like, And he goes back to the boys. He's like, that's it, man. We just got to put on scrap pieces of paper, man. People can mark their places without tearing out the hymn books. You know, they can write notes, all this kind of stuff. So they make a big pitch to 3M, and they're like, no. Like, we're not targeting choir directors, okay? That's not our deal. Find a broader application. And they work on it, and then finally the vice president says, this project's killed, man. It's squashed, okay? It's been 10 years. It's over. There's nothing there, okay, for weak glue. All right, there's just not a market for it. Well, they believe in it, and what they do is they create their little scrap pieces of paper, put some of their adhesive on the back of it, and they get their little Post-it notes and pass it out to the entire office at 3M. And they tell them how to use it. You can mark folders. You can write notes for the girl that you like in the third cubicle when she's away, and she can feel like there's a stalker or something like that. You get the picture. So they start canvassing their whole office with it. And people start catching on, and they love it. And they think it's great. And when they want more, they give them the number of the marketing department. So people are calling the marketing department and go, give us some more of these Post-it notes. They're awesome. We're like, we don't make Post-it notes. We killed that project. And so finally, after their clever or shrewd actions, if you will, the project gets green-lighted by 3M, and they release the product. And you're like, yeah, this is how 3M got billions and billions of dollars. No, product flopped. Consumers wouldn't buy it. They're like, why would I pay extra money for colorful scrap paper? So they still owned it. They still followed through, and they went out to all these different businesses in city centers, and they gave them out for free and told people what to do with them. And after they did that, they re-released it, and it hit. And in 1981, Post-it notes became 3M's product of the year, and is responsible for a huge amount of their income. So, today, as you're watching this, if you're in an office or by your desk, chances are you might have some of these floating around. Some Post-its. If you don't, go out and buy them, because I just bought stock in the company. And here's your exercise for today. You're going to write yourself a little reminder to be on the verge of maturity is to own it and follow through. That's simple. Own it. Make a decision today to follow God with everything you've got, because you have Christ Jesus, who is the author and perfecter, literally translated, the completer, the finisher. It is finished, of our faith. He who began a good work in you is faithful and just to bring it about to completion. So, own it.
You gotta own it.
See, I was in the chair a second ago. Don't come to Engage next week.
Don't come to Engage. See you later.